Right, so you're welcome to the program Inside Cross River. This is the program that lets you in on everything happening on the political landscape of Cross River State. Of course, we've heard a lot about the People's First government. We've seen Senator Bassey Edet hit the ground running as the governor of Cross River State, and a lot has transpired. And you know, before today, a lot of people were looking forward to the law prohibiting kidnapping in Cross River State, because we had a lot of families being thrown into money and a lot of people having to go through a lot of very, very terrible circumstances. And like recently, we had a medical doctor that was kidnapped, and today in Cross River State, this law has been signed officially, and I'm here with the Speaker of the Cross River State House of Assembly, who is also a people-oriented speaker that has said that the 10th Assembly is also the People First Assembly. So you're welcome to the program.
Thank you so very much.
What is this law going to do for the people of Cross River State? How will an average Cross Riverian in the district going to benefit from the signing of this bill into law?
First, let me clear the air that this bill was not signed into law today.
Okay.
It was actually signed into law on the 31st August 2015.
Okay.
And you know, for a bill to become a law, when you propose the bill, the governor has to assent to it. When the bill is deliberated on the floor, the governor will have to assent to it. Having assent to it, it has to be gazetted to become operational, to become functional.
Okay.
And all of these bottlenecks were observed all in 2015. But the implementation became an issue because maybe for obvious reasons best known to those in the helm of affairs, they didn't want this bill to be operational. And that is what has given rise to what you see today, what is plaguing Cross River State, the criminality in Cross River State. Now, it's just because this bill has not been operational.
Okay.
I'm very thankful to the Governor, His Excellency, Prince Bassey to have taken such a bold step. You know, the penalties here in this bill are so draconian that if any member of the family decide to fall prey, you know that it is over for that member of your family. And I'm thinking strongly that that would have been one of the things that had possibly stopped the other governors from assenting to this bill. Because we have death sentences here, okay, we have life imprisonment and all of that, and all of them are without option of fines.
All right. That's interesting. All right. So right now, officially, it's official now that we have a law prohibiting kidnapping in Cross River State. Now, I want us to go into the penalties, because a lot of people need to know, for us to stay away from certain activities, you need to know what the consequences will be like. So what are those specific penalties on kidnapping in Cross River State?
First, if I come to interviews like this, I don't like carrying pieces of paper.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah.
But for the benefit of doubt and to clear the air, so that people, I like to be very verbatim.
Okay.
On this one, and very precise, so that whoever is listening or whoever is watching will get to know that I was reading directly from the law itself. You can see that it was ascended to the then government.
Yeah, Senator Professor Benayade, yeah.
This law, if you have anybody kidnapped, and in the course of your nefarious activity, the person died. If the person dies right under your watch, you are eligible for, what did they stipulate here? It says a person, first they define what kidnapping means, that a person who takes another person abduct, or by any means of assault, instilling fear or tricks, takes another person with intent to demand ransom or compel another to do anything against his will, commit an offense of kidnapping.
Yeah.
It doesn't just end at possibly kidnapping somebody for ransom. Even politically, okay, if you take somebody into captivity and by coercion, asking the person to resign or do anything that is out of the person's wish,
yeah,
that's kidnapping. So the same penalty that is meted to the person that is collecting ransom will be meted on you.
Okay.
So if you believe that it's only those that are kidnapping for ransom that this law is applicable to, then you're in a frolic of your own.
Okay.
So it went down to tell you that one of the most penalties that I love the most is if somebody dies in your arm while perpetrating this act, you are to be hanged.
Okay.
Until you die.
Wow.
and this penalty is without any option of fine. If you are an accomplice, you know that this person was going to be kidnapped. You partook in the kidnap of that person. You will face same charge.
Wow.
If you heard and decide not to say, and the crime is committed, and your name is brought forth, you stand to be sentenced for life. If your property is used for any act of kidnapping and somebody doesn't die, such a property shall be demolished, and the land owned by state government, and yourself that owns the property will be sentenced for 20 years without an option of fine.
Wow.
That is in a situation whereby nobody dies.
Okay.
But if anybody dies in the act, you are eligible to be hanged too. And I can go on and on like that. The law is so draconian that there is no option of fine anywhere. This is because we intend to stamp out criminality, kidnapping to be precise, in Cross River State. The reason why you see most of, and I think the House of Assembly, we have all resolved that we will engage the PPP department of the Nigerian police. Okay? Often than not, when a man is caught in most of these heinous crime, once the file is transferred to PPP, and I say it here unequivocally, that is where such cases are watered down and made bailable.
Okay.
So we intend to engage them.
All right.
We intend to engage them critically. We intend to be very vehement on that engagement to ensure that if a man is charged with kidnapping, such a person must not be granted bail.
All right, so that takes us to the 10th Assembly, which you are the Speaker. So that takes us to your own administration. Because one thing is to assent a bill into law and all of that and have the law operational in the landscape. The next thing is the role of the legislators in ensuring that the implementation is effective. So what are those modalities you're going to put in place to ensure this law is operational in Cross River?
Okay, what the governor did yesterday was more like reading the Riot Act.
Okay.
And for the governor to have taken that proactive step tells you that it is off the assembly now. We have legislated upon it. It's been accented to, it's been gazetted. It's operational now. It is the duty of the judiciary.
Judiciary, okay.
All right? And the duty of the, what do they call it? The military, the security
operatives.
Yeah, security operatives now, who are charged with the
responsibility
duty of apprehending these people and handing them over to the what do they call it, to the judicial system.
Yeah.
Now, the judiciary has a very tremendous role to play here. It has a tremendous role to play because by the time such issues comes to any of the court, the judgment that is given out there is what will be implemented. Is what will be implemented. And so we are going to engage, and most of these people, before such judgments are given, PPP has to do due diligence on those files. When a man is apprehended on a particular crime, taken to the station, before the case goes to court, PPP has a lot of role to play.
Sure.
And it is the report of the PPP that is presented before the court, and the evidence on the deaths is what is presented before the court will take a decision, whether convicting or sentencing the person to life imprisonment.
All right.
Now what we have determined to do is to engage the PPP, to engage the judiciary, and to say, on this one, in order for us to have sanity again in Cross River State, when a man is charged to court, when a man is brought to you, and what is before you is copious enough to show that that man was actually engaged in kidnapping, don't cut corners by watering the law. Let the law take its full weight on such a person. It is in doing that it will serve as deterrent to others.
All right.
Because the incessant kidnapping, now it's not even kidnapping again, it's more like banditry. Because before now, what we realized was, if you stray on the street or you go to get something somewhere, that's where they can prey on you and take you away.
Sure.
Right now, they knock houses.
In your houses, yeah.
They knock houses. So if a man is not safe in his house, where else can a man be safe? So it's more like banditry now, and it's not even kidnapping.
All right, that's interesting. If you're just joining us, the program is Inside Cross River, and we have here the Speaker of the Cross River State House of Assembly. Now, so let's look at other factors. Let's look at other factors. Now, we know that this has to be taken to every sector. Everybody needs to know that there's a law now operational in Cross River State, and of course, kidnapping is prohibited and all of that. Now, I want you to tell me, is this judiciary that we have, is the landscape ready for this implementation? Are we ready? Do we see this being enforced effectively?
Beatrice, security is every man's thing. Those that are kidnapping are not kidnapping and selecting and saying, if you have the judicial system, you won't be kidnapped. If you allow yourself free, they will feast on you. That's the truth.
Okay.
If somebody can go ahead to kidnap a medical doctor who is a caregiver, then talk more of a judicial personnel.
Oh.
They have no regard for human life. They have no regard for the comfort of anybody. Whether you are a lawyer, you are a doctor, you are a civilian, you are a farmer, you are a legislator, whatever, so long as they are up for it and up for this money, they will kidnap you, and that same ransom will be demanded of you.
Okay.
So if the judiciary thing, watering down the law, is going to exonerate them, my sister, I tell you that no, those people don't have sympathy for anybody.
Okay.
All they want is ransom collected, and whoever gets into their net will pay the same ransom. So what is plaguing me is plaguing the next person. That's where we are, and that's why all hands must be on deck, all hands must be on the plow. We must take this decisively, that look, as a matter of urgency, let's stamp out criminality and kidnapping in Cross River State.
All right.
The judiciary has a lot to do.
Okay.
The judiciary has a lot to do. And I will, at some point, I'm not supposed to sound like this, but for the benefit of perseverance, I will. If any law court in Cross River State gives judgment that everybody is convinced that a man was caught as a kidnapper, the perseverance will revolt. If you water down the law and you grant such a criminal bail, Cross-Riverians will revolt. Enough of this.
Okay.
Enough.
All right, so it's a great milestone that this became operational in your dispensation as Speaker. That's why it's very important for you to speak in your capacity as the Speaker of the Cross River State House of Assembly to the people of Cross River, because all of this is about the people. All of this is about keeping people safe. All of this is about, not making Cross River State ungovernable. So what would be the specific role? What would be that appeal you have for the people? What would be the role of the people in this implementation?
All I want perseverance to do is to be law abiding. And for people to, the economy is biting on everybody. The economy is biting on everybody. I want perseverance to be law abiding. Let us go back to that usual status quo where you can sleep in Calabar without any fear that you'll be carted away or your belongings or items will be taken away from you. That is all I want in Cross River State. And of course, the governor have told you that the people first government is what he is running. And I had christened the 10th Assembly to be the People's Assembly. I know how much it took me to keep softly pressing on the governor to take this decision to make this bill operational in Cross River State. And I want to thank His Excellency because truly, when he invited me to give me vivid analysis of what this law is about, when I briefed him all, he saw the need to immediately take up that action. And people were agitating for this law to be operational, but Cross-Riverians, immediately the law became operational yesterday. I woke up this morning expecting to see social media completely agog. But to my greatest dismay, I could barely see one of the things.
Because kidnapping has become a business.
That's it.
That takes me to my next question. As the Speaker, big men and all these personalities and all of that are said to be part of this, act and all of that. Now, if one of your friends is involved, what will you do?
You know why I laughed? I have no permanent friend. Truly, if you ask anybody that knows me very well, I have no permanent friend. And that leaves me with the only option of telling anybody the truth.
Okay.
If you're my friend and you think going into crime will be the last option you have in life, then be rest assured that friendship ended the very day you conceived that. Okay. Because if you're my friend, you should mimic me. You should copy me.
All right.
I've been through all in life. Even at my lowest ebb, I did not contemplate indulging into criminality. Okay. So if you're my friend, learn the better side of me. Okay? Right. And I don't even believe that poverty is what drives people into into criminal acts. It's not. It's a thing of the mind.
All right, so you've heard it. Ignorance of the law is not an excuse. And if you know something, say something. If you see something, say something. Security is everybody's business. We need to stay safe. And for that to happen, it requires our collective participation. And that's what the speaker has said. Everyone should know that the law prohibiting kidnapping is operational in Cross River State. We want to stamp out crime. And of course, when the Senator Bassey Edet was sworn in at the stadium, he said the criminal elements must leave Cross River immediately. That was a riot act, and he has also read another riot act and said he would not tolerate any form of disorder. Nobody will make Cross River State ungovernable, and he has said that repeatedly.
The governor, when he took over power, said, in a period of this month is my amnesty period.
Sure.
Lay down arms, and I will make provisions for you to get something worth doing. And at that point, the governor had already factored out an amount of money meant to assist these people. You know, by the time people lay down, when there's amnesty, when people lay down arms, you don't just tell them, thank you for laying down arms, right? You ensure that you create an enabling environment for them to thrive in whatever businesses they intend to go into, right? The governor gave them that window. But I can tell you that from when the governor gave them that window to this moment we are, instead of criminality to wind down, it's even getting more emboldened. You understand? They are even getting more emboldened, like they are getting more courageous. Just because the governor said, I'm giving you this window to lay down arms. And of course, that I think is one of the things that infuriated the governor, especially with the kidnap of a medical consultant. Haba, that is the apex of medicine.
I'm telling you.
For somebody to rise from whatever low level to become a consultant is the highest level of medical practice. You're not even afraid, you don't have empathy for what is bedeviling Cross Riverian. You carry such a woman, and regardless of all that the state has done for the release of this woman, you guys are paying deaf ear to it. Come on. There is no sane governor that will not take the decision of what the decision the governor took. And I'm very proud of the governor to have been that proactive, to have come out to say, look, enough is enough. And if you are listening to him, he said there is no better time to take this decision. This law takes effect from today. He didn't even say now. He said from today. That was yesterday. Yeah. So if you were apprehended after the governor's press briefing yesterday, it means all of these penalties will be meted on you straight.
Right. Okay, so you've heard it clearly, and that of course is not going to be negotiated. Stay away from crime, be a part of the season of sweetness, join the People First Assembly and the People First government for us to move Cross River State forward. Cross River is the only state we have, and of course we have to ensure that the responsibility of protecting the lives and property of all Cross Riverians, all of us are playing a role in it. My name is Bassey, and of course here we have the Speaker of the Cross River State House of Assembly that has been very, very kind enough to let us know about the law prohibiting kidnapping in Cross River State and how the governor wants the landscape to be peaceful. Like they say, when you come to Cross River State, come and live and be at peace. So nobody will make this state ungovernable or make crime reign supreme in the land. Thank you very much for being a part of the process, Mr. Speaker. We thank you for the access. I wish you the absolute best. Be the best version of yourself everywhere you find yourself, and always put your best foot forward. I'll see you some other time. Bye-bye.